Hey everyone, Colby here, and today we got some news about more 10x that's coming to the game tomorrow. You probably seen the event in game that popped up today. It's going to be in 24 hours. We're going to have another summon rush. What the summon rush is, you just open the shards, and based on the shards quality, if it's mystery, ancient, void, or sacred, you get more points. So that's very basic. But the 10x tomorrow, guys, that we're going to have, it's gonna be like a couples 10x. I'm not sure. It's gonna be Juliana and Romero. So let's look at those first. So first up, Juliana. She's a very good epic champion if you get her in the very beginning of the game. Her poisons and HP burn do a great job in the clan boss, and she will also help you carry through probably most of the dungeons up until to stage maybe 14, 15, and after that she quite falls off. So not that great of a pull if you do happen to get her, but if you don't have anything else, then I do think she's okay. Then an additional 10x chance is gonna be for Romero. It's like he has some synergy with Juliana. So Romero, I have this champion, but I haven't really used him, to be honest. I only used to use him in the faction wars before I got better champions. So he's got a healing on his A1, A2, and a shield on A3, and also an increased defense buff on this champion. Those are okay. Again, nothing crazy. If you do happen to get it, it's okay, but I wouldn't personally open the shards, and I would say don't open your shards if you're looking for any of these two champions unless you're a collector type. So when you also have Juliana on your team, he attacks all enemies 3 times. He unlocks basically an AoE, and this is only available when you have them in the same team. So you definitely need to have both champions for these additional abilities to work. And Juliana also unlocks on her A2 will ignore 50% of the target's defense when Romero is on the same team. So if you do happen to get both of them, you get that additional skill. Next up, we have the 10x for Bellanor and Xavia. We're gonna look at Bellanor first. Bellanor, he's a void legendary, of course. So if you do happen to get him, that's unfortunate because there's so many other void legendaries that would have been so much better for you to get. But still, he has some good utility in some of the dungeons, and he can find some use, especially if you also have Xavia. He's got a decreased defense and a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns on 1 enemy. So it's a single double debuff attack, and also increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. This can supposedly be great for the dungeons. When you kill off an enemy, you get that increased defense. And when you also have Xavia in the team, attacks 1 enemy, places 5% poison debuff, a 50% decrease attack debuff, a 30% decrease speed debuff, and a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns. This is so cool, but again, you need to have Xavia. You need to have 2 very good legendary champions for those abilities to unlock. Bellanor and Xavia will have great utility together. Again, I wouldn't summon for him only, but he's a void. There's a 10x to get him, 0.5% to get a legendary. I mean, it's not 2x. Personally, I would save your my void shards. Save your void shards, guys, because the void shards are so hard to get in the game. I currently have like 45 saved up, waiting for that 2x and waiting to get that seer. And next up, we're gonna look at Xavia. She's here in the Dark Elves. Xavia is, of course, a great champion, great legendary to get only from ancients and your sacreds that you have stored so far. So depending on how many you've got stored, then you'll have a 10x for her. But again, I wouldn't summon, guys, during a 10x. I'm repeating this. This is not a great 10x. I would probably only go for 10x if his champions like maybe Sifi, if his counterattack champions. Those are the most reasonable times you should go for a 10x. Other than that, you're just fishing for that proc of the legendary, and then you're fishing that 10x is actually gonna work and you're actually gonna get that champion. So Xavia is also a great nuker. I don't have her, so I can't really showcase her. And Deadly Catalyst is such a great skill. Attacks all enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. It's basically an explosion type of attack based on the poison debuffs on the enemy. So I really love this skill, and I wish more champions had this kind of skill, not only Xavia, so we could do more setups in both the dungeons, arena, and the clan boss. So yeah, when you also have Bellanor in the team, attacks 1 enemy, applies a debuff spread effect, taking 4 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. So of course, if you have Bellanor in the same team, she's gonna spread the debuffs, and then I'm not sure if she uses her A4 before her A3. I don't have both of them to check, but ideally this should be like you have a single target great poisoner, then she debuff spreads, and then she does A3. That would be great. And additional, I think if this also had like she gains an extra turn, this will be such a great combo for the two of them. She would do this, spread the debuffs, and then do her A3 and just explode every single one of them. I think that would have been so much better. Next up, guys, we've got the Knight Revenant, and the Knight Revenant we have Skull Crown and Sinesha. If you guys don't know already, those two go very well together if you put them in the arena team, but also the dungeons. I don't have Sinesha leveled up, but I do have Skull Crown, and I intend to put up a video on her in the future, so you guys can check that out. So Skull Crown, she's such a great champion, very annoying in the arena, great also in the dungeons. She can also be a great farmer. You put as much critical damage as you can, 100% crit, as much speed as you can in attack, and she's gonna be great. You don't really need defensive stats since she will basically have the unkillable passive on her. This is very annoying in the arena if you don't have a way to remove this. It used to be the case that she would actually just destroy your team with the unkillable buff, but now that we have more attacks that like we have Rotos, he uses the A3 and just ignores this unkillable buff and kills the Skull Crown. So we have that. But if you also have Sinesha in the team, she also becomes way more annoying, revives the champion with 30% HP. So this is only available when you have both of them in the same team. You can use them both because Skull Crown attacks all enemies, 50% chance to place a weekend, so she does way more damage. And then her A1 attacks all enemies, plays an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. So if your Skull Crown is much faster than Sinesha, she'll go before her. She attacks twice with this skill, and then Sinesha has like the opposite skill. Sinesha is more like a healer, support type champion, as you see here. But her A1 attacks all enemies, plays an extra hit on enemies with less than 50% HP. So if you do happen to get them, to get both of them, yeah, it's a good combination to use both, especially for nuking. You get like 2 hits from Skull Crown and 2 hits from Sinesha once you actually manage to drop them, and especially in the dungeons, in arena, this can be very good for nuking a target down. Again, I wouldn't use my voids or my shards for either of them just now. I mean, we did have, I think the first 10x ever in the game was for Skull Crown. That was great, and I tried to get her, but since then there's so many more champions that came up in the arena that are better. So yeah, when I got Skull Crown eventually, I was just, okay, I have Skull Crown, but I'm not gonna really use her in the arena anymore. And the final 10x, guys, and the one that I like the most is the 10x on Venus. Of course, guys, Venus is such a fantastic champion. I have her, and I have a video guide on her. You should check that out. But she's such a fantastic champion. The 10x, I mean, it's a great chance for you to try and get a champion that applies both a decreased defense and a weakened debuff with their A2. There's not so many champions that can apply it. Like, she's a void. She's the only one that applies both of them and also is a void. So as an AoE, I think Venus is a top champion. She's got great stats, 112 base speed, fantastic champion. If you desperately need a champion that applies both decreased defense and weaken, you should open them. You should open your void. You shouldn't really wait for a 2x. A 2x, you might get some other legendaries. Of course, you might get Venus. I got my Venus on non-10x, non-2x. It was just, I just opened one random shard and I got her. I was extremely lucky, and I've been using her in so many teams since then. Fantastic champion. You should go for her. And we also have a 10x for Cupidus. Cupidus is also great. I didn't try to get him when I just had him from a random shard. Can't remember if it was sacred or ancient. When I unlocked Venus as well, their synergy together is so great, guys. It's fantastic. Removes all buffs from all enemies. 50% chance of granting an extra turn. This is fantastic in the arena. Can also be used in some of the dungeons where you have very annoying bosses or waves that actually put buffs on them. They can both be used in the Sacred Order faction wars. So both of those champions are great together, and I have also a video together of them both and showcasing how strong they are and how one synergizes so well with the other in terms of Venus applies the debuffs and Cupidus does way more damage based on debuffs. So that's so good, guys. And Cupidus, of course, this is the other legendary champion I have from Sacred Order. What can I say about Cupidus? I have a video of him in my channel, 230,000 crits. He does a ton of single target damage with his A3. Such a great skill. I haven't really used him anywhere else. He's great for nuking with his A1. Damage increased by 15% if the target has any debuffs. And when you have Venus, attacks inflict 25% more damage to targets under debuff. So both of them go very well together. I think this is the best combo you can hope for to get in terms of legendary champions out of this 10x. Of course, the Xayah would be great. The other champions are okay. But guys, overall, when we have a 10x going, you shouldn't really try to summon. Just save your shards unless you have these kind of cases where like a Draco, I tried to get that one. Sifi, I tried to get that one. But other than that, just save your shards, because on a 2x, especially if you're on a budget, on a 2x, you've got way better chances to get something that's going to help you out. It might not be the one that you're looking for, but you're going to get probably maybe an epic or a legendary that can help you progress through both the dungeons, the campaign, and of course arena and the clan boss. This was the video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're looking for a guide on a few of these champions, I have them already in my channel. For example, Venus, Cupidus, I have those already, and I have them showcasing both of them together. I have them showcasing them without the other, and so you can see the difference in their damage and how they are used in a team. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and of course I'll see you in the next one. See you, guys.